Statistics show that the majority of people living in the UK have a direct link to someone that has either died from or is living with a terminal illness. But how often do we spare a thought for the people who on a day-to-day basis are caring for the palliative and end-of-life patients? In this documentary, we take a look into the lives of two nurses from the southwest, both working with people who are suffering from a terminal illness. We talk to Sue Don, who works in the St Luke's Hospice as a sister on the inpatients unit. Sue tells us why she came to the hospice.
When I finished my training, which was in the late 70s, I worked on the radiotherapy and oncology unit at Freedom Fields, and I realised then that we were giving care, but there was an extra care that we needed to give, the care that would be replicated in hospice. So I was very much involved in my heart with the hospice movement, learning about it. And then I left that job to have my daughter and didn't work for 10 years. Went to a nursing home, and again, although we were doing the same sort of care in as much as we were looking after palliative and terminal patients, I just knew my heart was in the hospice and what the hospice stood for and the hospice movement. And so 9 years ago I applied and got a job here. It's totally different. When you're working in the community, you are going into the patient's environment and you have to be very aware that you are a visitor in their home and to be guided by the things that the patient wants in their home or doesn't want. Whereas in the hospice, obviously they're coming into our care environment, and so where we would feel possibly the stranger in the community environment, the patient may well feel the stranger here. So it's always good to put yourself in that place and think, what can I do to make this as homely and comfortable for the patient as possible? So there are big differences. The hospice is held in high esteem, but yeah, I think now the recession is beginning to bite, and the fundraising team and the senior management team are looking at different ways that you can raise money to keep us going. I enjoy coming to work. People often say, well, you know, it must be very stressful and very hard, and it is emotionally hard, but we've got a very tight-knit team who all support each other, and that's teams including doctors, nurses, the fundraisers, the catering staff. You know, we're just such a tight team that we all support each other in times of crisis. There is no time limit. Some patients can be given care quite quickly because that's what they want. Other patients, you could spend up to an hour or more with them, especially if they're distressed or they start talking about something that's concerning them. There are certain patients that stay with you. I would say in the years I've nursed, not just at the hospice, but there's probably about 5 people that I can see very clearly.
We also talked to nurse Julie Hawkin, who works for the NHS, going door to door looking after patients in their own homes.
I'm working as a healthcare assistant now, working with end-of-life patients, providing personal care for them in the community. They give us an hour for each patient. We have 6 patients. Go in and you wash them, change their pads, sheets in the bed, and you know, whatever they want. I mean, it's just mainly personal care. And then in the evening, when we do the evening shift, we do the same, go back in. If they've been up, you help them back into bed, get them undressed for the night and help them into bed. And you know, I think in some cases we have sort of left them snacks for their evening if they've got nobody else there living with them. Get to know them better. It's I mean, that's the thing, you've got to remember, it's their home, so you sort of respect that, and sort of usually there's other family there, and that's how you get to know the whole family then, and you sort of sort of get to know them all, and that's how you're offering support really for them, making sure that they know who to ring if they've got a problem. I enjoy it, yeah. It's, I don't know, you go around, I know it seems like a sad job, but you're meeting, you feel like you're doing something, and you're sort of providing care for them, and you're talking to the patients and their families, and it's support for the families and everything, so I really enjoy that.
Like you, I wish nothing but the best for you too. Don't forget me, I beg. I remember you say sometimes it lasts and loves, but sometimes it hurts instead. Sometimes it lasts and loves, but sometimes it hurts instead.